Okay, and we will announce this on Twitter as well and say, hey, we're going live.
Oh, yeah, do you ever use Picardo?
I used to, but it doesn't, there's not really, you don't get traction there.
That's fair. I actually like it because I don't get traction.
Yeah,
I I've realized this, but I kind of get nervous when like a lot of people show up to my stream.
that's fair. Um, that makes sense. I I
Yeah.
don't really have a lot of people that show up to the streams anyways, so it's like I don't really see the point in going to a place where no one's gonna show up.
I have like two or three people that like always show up. And so I've almost like formed like this kind of close community. Because basically what I do
Nice.
is I
So
stream
it's
old
like
cartoons and especially
I don't
anime
really see
lately,
the point in. Yeah,
which I like that Picardo is chill enough that they don't really crack down on that super hard.
right. I guess that makes sense. I'm not gonna be drawing anything risque today, so I don't
True.
see I don't see like yeah. I'll wait till some people show up and then I will work on what I'm working on. Um so far we've got one person.
I mean,
Like
hey, that I was gonna say, hey, I mean that's more than I usually get this early.
I think that person might also be me. I'm not sure.
That reminds me of I had like this phase where I wanted to make like modern day Peanuts comics. And one of the ideas I had is that Charlie Brown decides to become a live streamer.
Oh yeah.
And the only computer game he has is solitaire, but he thinks he's like, oh, but I'm really good at it. And he keeps bragging to everyone that he has one Brown watcher that decides to become always watches his stream. Like they don't like have a name or they don't like sign in or anything, but he always sees that he has one watcher and he's like, I'll keep streaming because he has one the watcher. only And computer game he like has, Lucy eventually figures out that like no, that one watcher watching his streams is just him signed in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I think it's just me. I think it's genuinely just me. But this is what I have going on. I gotta draw this like beach sort of scene, and then there's like some characters in it, but I'm not drawing the characters yet. I'm drawing the scene.
Gotcha. You were talking about it a while ago that you kind of enjoy doing backgrounds now.
Yeah, I didn't used to like when I was first starting out and stuff, but once I went to college and I kind of like learned that you could make backgrounds a very interesting thing, like you can use it for characterization of like your environment and everything like that. I started really liking it.
I do like when I can look at backgrounds that way, I do have fun with it. Like whenever I decide to do a background, I tend to very quickly try to characterize it, and that aspect I do have fun. I think I just get lost because like in the same way that I don't think I'm great at anatomy, but I'm great at like expression, so I can make up for that. I feel like backgrounds are a little bit more rigid, so it's hard for me to make that same kind of like, for lack of a better word, like excuse when I'm doing a background and it doesn't look quite anatomically correct.
Right. I guess the thing is I don't really like worry about, the like correctness of the background because I feel like my style is very wonky already. And like I could do a correct background if I had wanted to, right? But I feel like I get more of an expression and more of a feeling across if I make it more wonky and it fits better. Because, like, if I drew a whole bunch of wonky looking characters and
They're
then,
gonna look weird against a very like professional like
yeah, like a very professionally done background that with all of the correct, you know, it's not gonna look right.
That's fair.
And I think maybe that's like easier for me than other people who are like, oh, I have this like very anatomically correct like style, and now I have to work really really hard on backgrounds. I'm just like winging it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think the winging it makes me want to draw the backgrounds, so
You can know where the characters are.
yeah, and I think that's a good thing, is like if it's making you want to draw more, that's a good thing.
That's a good point.
Uh, and I still mess up and I still do things wrong, but
It's not true. People who are good at art never mess up at
I've
all.
never messed up in my life.
No, everything that looks like a mistake, intentional.
So true.
You just don't get it.
Exactly.
You just don't get it, yeah.
They popped out the womb drawing perfect.
God, I don't want to get too salty in the chat. But that's like one of those things that really frustrated me when like the whole AI arts thing was starting. It's like, well, we have to use AI art because we're not like gifted with artistic skills. I'm like, do you know how long I sucked at art?
Right? Like, if you look
Gifted.
at my old DeviantArt, like, Jesus Christ.
I was like, I'm like, let me show you what I was doing in college. Keep in mind, I've been drawing since I was 5. This shit I drew in college that looks like a 10-year-old drew it. Like, like, trust me, I've been struggling with art my whole life. It has never been easy for me. I do it because I enjoy it.
Art is hard, but it's worth it.
I always say, if art was easy, everyone would do it.
True. I don't like the way this line is looking. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it when people like. That's why I don't really like it when people say, "Oh, wow, you're so talented, you're so gifted." I'm like, no, I suck at this. I've just been doing it for so long, and I've gotten some skill.
Yeah, I feel like the talent versus skill argument is definitely a thing. I just like I think there's a certain amount of like talent that is there, but it's like way
I think there are
overrated.
talented people. I think there are talented people, but at the end of the day, you still have to like work at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you still have to be encouraged to pursue that talent. You still have to be taught. You still have to like work and develop skills. That's why I feel like talent isn't as important as skill.
Yeah. Because
Well,
one of the things I always think is that I never really used to fail literature classes. I was always just really good at literature. And like, I don't like to read, I don't like to write. But I'm like, I feel like if I had pursued this, I would probably be considered a talented writer because it comes so easily to me. It's just not something I want to do.
Yeah.
So I haven't put any work with it, so I'm not a very good writer.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I like
But
writing though.
I think, yeah, I think like what everyone is talented at is not always what everyone wants to do, in my opinion.
Yeah. I have absolutely no skill or talent for cooking. I will say that right now. No skill or talent for cooking. I'm not good at it. It's really bad.
also, I wanted to add, with the skill versus talent discussion, that I do think talent, it also makes it easier to acquire skill. In the sense that, like, because the way I personally look at it, it's like a multiplier. Like, I don't think anybody is good at something just inherently. Like, you might have like proclivity to something, but like even the best people, like if you look at the people who are like the absolute number one in what they do, there's a ton of time that they put into it, uh,
Yeah.
um to get good, right? And I think that time matters more because hypothetically, you could have somebody who has the talent but never put any time, and even at best, they would be like mediocre at it if they
Yeah.
never put any time in.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of
That
where I feel like with like writing and stuff is like I could be pretty good at it if I actually put in effort, but I don't.
um yeah, so there's that part of it. And then the other part of it as well is that when you have that skill for the thing, um and that's where it gets, a bit more complex, is what if having that skill makes it easier for you in the sense that like um you're more inclined to put more hours into the thing,
Yeah.
thereby helping train your
Honing your
skills.
skills.
Yeah, because you're already good at the thing.
That's true.
Oh, oh.
Have you guys ever heard of a series called Blue Period?
I've heard of it, but I haven't like been exposed to it.
It's a manga slash anime about a guy getting into art school, basically.
Mhm.
It's really good. It's a very good exploration of the idea of getting into art. He starts getting into art around high school age, and he has like a really he improves very very fast. Like he gets, I think he starts in his sophomore year, and by his senior year, which keep in mind Japan only has 3 years of school, so it's only like a year gap between him starting and him doing the college exams. He
Mhm.
becomes like a very good painter. And there's an argument in one of the chapters where they're talking about talent versus hard work. And he's frustrated because he feels like he worked really hard to get where he is. But, someone else is arguing, like, well, yeah, but if you're talented, you know, you it just makes your hard work less like it just means that you didn't have to work as hard as someone who's been working on this their whole life. Like you got this good in like a few months, where I've been doing this my whole life and I'm only just this good. And so
Yeah.
they get into an argument because from his perspective, it feels like it's discounting all the hard work he put in.
Mhm.
And I love because he asked one of the other characters, like, what do you think about it? Do you think there's talent or do you think hard work is just hard work? And he says, I think hard work is a privilege because it's like you can only work hard on something like this if you have the means to work hard on it, if you have the money to work hard on it, if you have the time to work hard on it. And like, I love that because it's like a part of the argument I hadn't even considered where like he grew up poor, so being able to work on art, that wasn't even like something that was always in the cards for him. He
Yeah.
couldn't take remedial lessons. He couldn't like buy materials at the store.
Right.
Like it's like hard work isn't just like this thing that comes out of thin air. Like, hard work is also a privilege because not everyone can have the time to work hard on, something like art.
Yeah. I mean, like
This is true.
personally, I also grew up pretty poor. But I don't know like what poor in Japan is like, considering I've never lived there. Um, but like at the same time, I had a lot of resources at my disposal just because my dad, like, I grew up with a dad who like was into art and stuff like that.
I was pretty comfortably middle class, probably lower middle class than anything, but I never really wanted for much. Um, like I think a lot of my friends had more stuff than me, but I also had friends that like were worse off than I was. So I would say I was pretty comfortable single parent household.
Yeah,
Um,
I get that. My family was like I had both my parents and stuff, but um we they both worked, and up until my mom became disabled, and then my dad became the sole like breadwinner. And when that happened, uh my dad had been working at this company for like 10 years. During the 2008 recession, he lost his job of 10 years. And it took
That's
him
also when my mom got
forever.
unemployed.
Yeah. And it took him forever to like find a new job, and we were unable to like afford food and stuff like that. Neighbors did like food drives for us and things like that because we thankfully had a community in our neighborhood that
Yeah.
was like willing to like take care of people, and that's one of the things I'm very thankful for. But at the same time, like my dad was working like a computer job, and um so because he was like in web development and graphic design, and so
Right.
you know he still had a very like cushy job, in the sense of like he's doing art for his job, or he's like working at the computer for his job. So I had a lot of resources to learn how to like draw on the computer, or how to like use certain programs, or um like customize my HTML for my Neopets or whatever. Um and I also had a lot of access to traditional art supplies because my mom also went to art school, and when she had like become disabled, she went back to making art because that was like her only sort of,
Outlet.
yeah, like an outlet for that. And so she would teach me how to oil paint, or how to watercolor, or whatever, as like our little bonding experiences.
That sounds nice. Like I'm not, my mom was very supportive of me as an artist, but
Mhm.
I do often think like, man, it would be so cool if this was something that me and her could have done together. She kind of
Yeah.
just left me to my own devices.
Oh yeah. My parents were very like, I feel like they're just teachers at heart in a lot of ways. Like my dad goes out and he does conventions and stuff, and he does panels where he teaches kids how to draw. And that's always
That's
been really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, and my dad, he loves doing that. He used to go to the library and earn a couple extra dollars for teaching kids how to draw cartoons. And that was always like something that I enjoyed doing with him. Um and uh so when I was younger, he would like grade my sketchbooks essentially. He would look at my sketchbooks and be like, "You're doing this right, you're doing this wrong," like, in terms of fundamentals and stuff like that. My dad used to take me to like the park, and we do people sketching of different people around the park, and uh just like still lives and stuff like that. He'd take me to museums because, like, I thankfully lived near the DC area. And in DC, all the museums are free.
Nice.
And so we would go to like art museums, and uh we would draw like from what was there, or like still lives that were set up. And sometimes they would have like um they'd have like little art classes for like kids in my age group, cuz that's just, DC does that. And uh because it's all like government funded, so it's all free, and they're able to do that. They have like workshops and things at the museums. And he would take me to those on like weekends and stuff, and really like drill it into me the importance of art. But
Yeah, I think for a good portion of my childhood, I was kind of alone on the whole art thing.
mhm.
Like one of the things I kind of lament is that I actually never took an art class
Mhm.
until my senior year of high school. And by
Oh.
that point, I was so self-taught, I was basically ahead of the class. Like they were teaching me stuff I already knew about.
Mhm.
so much so that I actually just spent most of the classes working on my college entrance exam than I did working on what we were doing in the class, because it's like they're just explaining to me what a burn and dodge tool does in Photoshop,
Right, right.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what I know what all these do. I think the
Yeah,
only
that can be
skill I
very
actually got from that
frustrating.
class is just getting used to the difference between Apple and um just getting used to the difference between Apple and PC in terms of um commands and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's always like an issue.
Yeah.
I
I think
use
that's like the
PC,
one
so
thing I would say that that class taught me.
I'm a firmly a PC user.
Same.
Based. Well, Linux. Linux, that's where it's at, but nobody wants to use that.
Nobody wants to
So
use Linux.
It's getting there, but I don't know.
listen,
It's never gonna be
I
on
don't
that
mean
level.
yeah. It's the RC cola of computers.
Oh, and Gloomy, while listening to your story, that made me think of another thing, right? You know,
Mhm.
uh, um, the skill versus talent debate is also, kind of closely linked with nature versus nurture, right?
Yeah.
And so, and that's why it's so hard to try and untangle the question, because, uh, um, let's say, right, uh, um, you had it, like there was some gene in your DNA that coded for, right, you being a good artist, right, that
Right.
you are today, right, or that existed in your parents' genes, right.
Yeah.
Well, if that was the case, not saying it is, but if that was the case, right, it would be kind of hard to untangle. Okay, are you a good artist today uh, um because you have that, just that inherent advantage, or because um you were brought up, because listening to your story, right, you were around art from both sides of your family, right,
Right.
for most of your life, right.
Yeah.
And so in a sense they're sort of reinforcing you know that you know artistic talent and gift, right, in how they're raising you.
Yeah,
um
for sure.
and like, if you had kids of your own, right,
Yeah, and I would be
you
doing the
work in
same
art.
thing.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, is it the one or is it the other, right?
It's very much an
Right.
art
But
begets art thing.
yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
just
I
watched
get
Frankenstein last night.
ooh, the original?
So the new Del Toro version came out, and
Ah,
I wanted to see it because I uh heard it was really close to the book, and I really liked the book.
interesting. So their Frankenstein is handsome. I mean, the Frankenstein's monster, Adam.
It's very uh it's hard to say like, oh yes, he's very handsome, but in the book he's sort of supposed to be this like mangled monstrosity of nature. But
Oh, I always thought like the idea in the book is that he's uncanny to look at. Like he doesn't look like a monster like how in like traditional media, but he looks like uncanny.
uh-huh.
That's the impression I always got. I mean, I
I
haven't read the book in its entirety. I've only read adaptations of the original book, but that was the impression I got. It's like,
right. I get the uncanny angle from that. Definitely in the film adaptation by Guillermo del Toro, the new one. Um, but I don't get the idea that he's like specifically handsome, even though he is being played by someone who's like very conventionally attractive in the public
right.
zeitgeist.
Cause
Um,
yeah, because I mean, he's an actor.
yeah, like they definitely cover him up in like practical effects and stuff, and I really like
Yeah.
that. But they can't go too far, or else
Right.
they'll risk alienating their audience because he's a top billing actor, which kind of frustrates
Yeah.
me. Um,
It's my issue with I want to say Marvel movies, but it's like a superhero movie thing in general. When a
yeah.
character has like an iconic mask they wear, and it's like, all right, well, let's have them take the mask off, and it's like, no,
Why? Why would they do that?
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm seeing way too much of Ryan Reynolds' face in this Deadpool movie. Like
Yeah.
I love Ryan Reynolds, and like he's got a great face, but like the whole point of Deadpool is he's almost always wearing the mask.
Right. It's frustrating. I don't like superhero movies, even though I like superheroes a lot. It's not.
I like a lot of superhero movies, but I don't like the formula. Not even like the formulaic ones, because I liked it. I enjoyed this new Superman movie that came out. But
I
yeah, I
haven't
don't really
watched
like.
it, so maybe I'll like it. I don't know.
It's fun. I definitely think that I am just giving it extra points because it's the first time I've had fun with a superhero movie since I don't know Endgame.
Right. It definitely can feel like that sometimes.
Um, so like yeah, like I don't know, like I remember watching Black Panther. And there's a scene where, like, first of all, they established early on in the movie that his entire suit is made out of vibranium, meaning that it can, like, reflect basically anything that's sent at him, making him basically bulletproof and, like, plasma rifle proof or whatever. And so there's a scene where they are all, like, in a battlefield and the enemy is shooting at him, and he huddles behind a rock and then takes off his mask to talk to Shuri. And all I can think is, why are you taking off your mask? There are shots whizzing above your head, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to say, you can keep your mask on. She can hear you just fine.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like they just want to show the actor's face. And
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
then why did you make a superhero movie?
it's one of the reasons why I say I actually think that like superhero movies need to just go back to being animated because then you don't have to worry about like, oh, we have to show the actor's face because like who cares? They're a cartoon. It's not going to be the actual physical actor anyway, and
Yeah.
everyone will just geek out that it's their voice the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I've always preferred animated movies anyways. I'm a child at heart.
No, I mean, I think animation is the highest form of art. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to ever ask, like, what is the peak of art? Where is? And I would just say it's animation. I
Yeah.
think that is when we finally found the best form of art. And I know it's a subjective question, but that's my subjective answer. Is I think
I can
animation is the
appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
yeah.
I feel like for me, I'm definitely like a comics connoisseur, but you know, that's a
Like
bias that I have.
I remember seeing and it was like I didn't really read the whole interview because I hate reading, but it was basically like a clip from an interview where someone was asking the guys who made the Invincible show, "Hey, what made you want to do this as an animated series instead of live action?" And they were like, "Well, it was a comic first. It makes more sense to make it animated than it does to bring in live action actors." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's always been drawings. It's
It's
been
always
drawings the
been
whole time.
drawings. Yeah, it's always been drawings.
It's weirder to change mediums into live action people than it is to just make those drawings move.
This is
I'm like, I'm
objectively
so glad he
true.
said that. I'm so glad he said that because I'm like, it's insane to me how much people like just seem like, oh, well, we got to make a adaptation of this. Well, we got to have live action and have actors. I'm like, why? How is that enhancing the experience? Like now you're limited in what effects you can do, how to make everything look, because like everything has to be like CGI now. Like, or you could just animate it and everything just feels natural because
It's
drawing a guy
animated.
with a laser cannon, yeah, like drawing a guy with a laser cannon isn't anachronistic with the world we live in. You can just
It's
do whatever.
yeah, it's so people just don't I don't think people appreciate animation because at least in the West, it's been considered like kind of a kid
Cartoony,
thing.
like
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
been
and
considered a kid thing.
that really frustrates me. And it's something I always say, like it's why anime in Japan is so like popular. 'Cause you often see like, especially like older people being like, "Man, why is this anime thing so popular?" It's like it's because it's the only animated medium that doesn't treat its viewer like they're five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Demon Slayer's making a gazillion dollars because there's guys killing demons in it. They don't
Right.
turn
The
into
50s,
sparks.
60s, 70s, hell, even the 80s and 90s. Like, a TV cartoon could only sustain itself by, like, with merch. And, like, that usually involved, like, kid-oriented stuff. Like, you got He-Man and the action figures and whatnot.
Which I think is funny too, because like at this point, action figures are such a boomer thing that I honestly think you probably make just as much money selling action figures only to adults than you would trying to market to kids. Like, I don't know how many kids have action figures these days, but I know plenty of adults who do.
Mm-hmm. I don't know any adult who doesn't, but that's just because like all of my parents' friends are like complete nerds.
Yeah.
Like my
I mean, I
dad
think
knows
that's
a
the thing
bunch
is
of
that
people
when,
in the comics industry.
yeah. Like, I mean, I think that's the thing is that I think a lot of the old head executives have just a very dated way of looking at the medium. And they think like, yeah, you know, our primary audience is kids. It's like, no, your primary audience is kids who grew up and now they're 30.
Yeah.
Like, it's something I think about like a lot of properties. Like, yes, Pokemon is for kids, but I'm sure if you took the median age of a Pokemon fan, you'd probably get somewhere around like 27.
Oh yeah,
Like,
somewhere
I'm not
around
saying
there.
kids don't like Like, I'm not saying kids don't like Pokemon, but I'm like the people who are probably the most outspoken and like love Pokemon the most are those that were there for Pokemania in the 90s. Like, if you made a Pokemon game that was like, I don't know, rated T for teen or M for M even, it'd probably still make $1 billion because like that audience is there.
I don't
Yeah.
know why people
Not
say,
saying Pokemon has to do that.
No,
I
but
don't know
it's
why
like
people
it
say-
could work.
Yeah.
I don't know
Sorry,
why
what were you
people
gonna say?
this thing's for kids, that thing's for kids. I mean, unless it's like Bluey or like even then, but because because it's like rated E for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do
I remember this was years ago on the Pokemon thing where he was talking about how every Pokemon game begins with a tutorial explaining to you what Pokemon are. He was like, I'm just saying every game should come with two options, which is one, this is my first Pokemon game, or two, I played every single Pokemon game since the original Red and Blue. I've got shinies in every single game. I've been the Elite Four like 1,500 times. Please just let me play the game.
yeah.
Just two options.
The two options.
What? But like, I mean, again, I get it. You have a core audience that you're aiming towards. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think people sometimes get stuck on that and they think like, well, that's the only audience for this thing. It's like, no, you could branch out if you wanted to. You're just not doing that.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because of like image, you know? Like
Yeah.
brand image. It's safer to have a brand image that's for kids than it is to have like a brand image that's for teens or even adults.
Yeah. But I think that's what makes the whole anime thing in the West so funny is that now you have all these companies and brands looking at anime like, what's their secret? And it's like their secret's right in front of you. It's something made for teens because there's no media made for teens anymore.
Yeah. And there used to be, like, that's the thing, is that they used to be, like, going in that direction. And then
Yeah.
they just totally were like, no, that doesn't sell. Mostly because girls were the ones watching it.
Yeah. And if girls like something, then it's considered poison.
It's not only that, it's that, like, girls don't the age old adage in marketing is girls don't buy toys, which is objectively true. Like when you look at the sales, girls do not buy toys, but what they do buy is merchandise in abundance. And Teen Titans Go figured this out. Teen Titans Go made merchandise that girls were willing to buy based on the like merchandising failure of Teen Titans 03.
Interesting. I was gonna say the thing that always sticks into my head is something like girls don't buy toys, but they do love accessories, which is
Exactly.
why Sailor Moon is such a juggernaut because every single Sailor Moon series has like, here's this new kitschy thing that I need to activate my powers, and girls were like, oh, I need to buy like 8 million of those.
Yeah. Because it's something they can integrate into their real life instead of like, oh, this is like a toy I can like put on my desk.
Yeah,
They can wear the bracelet, they can wear the t-shirt and show that they like these things.
yeah,
And that's why like Teen Titans 03 kind of failed in that regard, because they were not making those things for girls because they weren't expecting a girl audience.
yeah,
But they had a primarily female demographic, and the kids, the girls who were liking it, were doing DIY projects and cosplaying, because like it just wasn't, the things that we wanted were not available to us. I can find so many of the projects that I made from when I was a kid, um, that were just like me either cosplaying Raven or I like made some bracelets or necklaces based off of traced pictures from like my DVD box sets, or like, just in general, like these DIY projects based off of like stuff that I wanted but didn't exist.
yeah.
And I think that there's something to that as well, like, but for marketing purposes, everyone wants it to be marketed differently
Yeah.
because they want
Like
things to
I and
sell.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I think companies are starting to wise up to that. Like like I think that's why the plush and like figurine market is kind of blowing up because
Mm-hmm.
they realize girls like having plushes and stuff, but also guys will collect those too.
Yeah.
Like one thing I was thinking when I was in Japan, they have Shonen Jump stores and they have a lot of like kitschy stuff you can put in your room. But one thing I really liked is I don't know, you probably haven't seen Dandadan at all.
No, I've seen it.
Okay. One of the things I liked is that one of the shirts you could buy is Momo's shirt from the anime, the one that says like punch on it.
Yeah.
And I really like that they're selling that shirt. And I'm like, that's like if you just put a character shirt in a store, people will buy it. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
won't because they were selling that shirt for like 66,000 yen or something. But
Something
like someone's
ridiculous
going
like
to buy
that.
that shirt. Yeah,
Someone will
like
buy.
yeah.
Someone will save up their money and they will buy it because they like it.
So someone will take out a second mortgage and they will buy that $6,000 shirt. And their name is not me.
No, but like they'll probably end up using it for a cosplay, which ends up generating you more interest, more intrigue in your show.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like someone has to hear about your thing from somewhere. And it is like underrated how often someone just sees a cool thing and like strikes up a conversation about it. And then like now a new person knows about your thing.
Yeah.
Or even if they don't strike up a conversation, like sometimes I'll just be at conventions and I'll just see like a lot of people cosplaying of the thing, and I'm like, "What's that from?" I think I'll look that up.
Yeah, that happens a lot to me. And I really enjoy that aspect of conventions, like the learning new things, the being exposed to new ideas thing. And I find that, we're sort of losing that in modern day, I feel like, because
I think so.
people aren't as willing to DIY stuff.
Like everyone wants to just buy their own cosplays.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll be honest, I did DIY a lot of my cosplays, and a lot of them sucked. It still brings me back to when I was a kid, and I wanted to go to as Goku for Halloween. So I just bought an orange shirt and like a blue belt. I didn't even have orange pants because who has orange pants? I just walked around and told everyone I was Goku.
Yeah. I used to cosplay back in the day, and I
In
went
the olden
as yeah,
times.
in the olden times. I went as Raven. I would also go as like different characters from Homestuck. I was a big Homestuck head. Uh, big Homestuck fan.
I definitely missed the Homestuck raid. I mean, I say missed like I wasn't around for it. I saw it and I said, no, not for me.
No, but it was like, such a phenomenon seeing that at conventions, and you really felt the like genuine love of community there.
I did think that Homestuck was so interesting because it was just a webcomic, and seeing it get like this huge, like, in world exposure. Like, there are a few webcomics that like made it outside of the online space, but not many, and I don't think any that I was aware of. So Homestuck was like the first time I saw a webcomic like break out of like just being an internet thing to being like I could run into someone who's a big fan of this thing.
Yeah.
More than one of the most insufferable people I've ever met were named Vriska.
Well, that's just, par for the course for Vriskas. Really living up to their namesake, honestly. But yeah, I was a big fan of Homestuck, but the characters that I liked were always really like rather mild, I feel like. Like I liked Feferi and I liked Nepeta. Um I think it's very obvious why I liked Nepeta. If you know anything about Homestuck, she's the cat
I was gonna
girl.
say, I was gonna say, like, I don't know enough about Homestuck, but the fact that you just named two characters whose name I've never heard is like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, these are the neat. This is the real fan here.
I'm so sorry.
You're not saying one of the common names that everyone knows. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's just like one of those things where like when you hear someone talk about something and it's like it's like saying like, oh, you like Dragon Ball? Who do you like, Goku or Vegeta? And they're like, oh, I actually like Launch. You're like, okay, you're a real one.
Oh yeah. Who's
Cause
your
like who?
favorite?
I like that kind of thing when you're like talking to someone and it's like, oh, who's your favorite character? They name like some person who's like been in like 8 panels in the last 50 years.
Yeah, it's like somebody whose favorite character is Equius, and you're like, oh, okay. There's literally nothing on Equius. Like, he
Yeah.
is not beloved at all.
That's the pain is when you see a character and you just immediately vibe with them and the author just does not care about them and you're like, oh, I guess it's just gonna be me. I am just gonna have to be the sole person making fan art of this guy.
Yeah. It's just me and Equius against the world, Thankfully, Nepeta is pretty popular. Feferi, not as popular, but, we vibe. We live. Feferi is the most neglected Homestuck character, I think, in existence. Nobody fucking likes her. Or nobody really cares about her. I feel like
I was gonna say like no, it'd be better if nobody liked her because they'd actually think about her.
Yeah, they'd be like there'd be some hatred towards her or something, but no, it's just like we don't care. Who is that? You know?
Who? Yeah, like you just show up like, hey, here's this character, and they're like, who? Whom?
Whomst? Yeah, it's very much
Yeah,
that.
my favorite Family Guy character is Greased Up Deaf Guy. Uh,
Yeah, it's
You're
it's
never
very
going
much
to
that.
catch me. You're never going to catch me.
but the real answer is my favorite Family Guy character is obviously Sneakers O'Toole.
Oh, fair.
He's never gonna take his sneakers off.
Nope.
I think it's even funnier because like I'm a big manga reader, but when you get like really into manga, you start to get into series that it's like, okay, no one on earth is talking about this series, and I want to gush about how much I love this series and I love this character in this series, but like no one's heard of the series, and even if someone's heard of the series, they probably don't care about that specific character from it.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like, I always want to talk about, like, not necessarily really obscure animes, but, like, animes that nobody really cares about. I mean, or if they do care about them, they're not, like, caring to the extent that I do, which sucks.
Right.
Which is to say I love Paranoia Agent. It's my favorite anime.
Oh my God, Paranoia Agent is so good.
It's so good, but nobody talks about it. Nobody even includes it when they like talk about Satoshi Kon works. And I'm like, what are you talking
Really?
like? Okay,
It's like the biggest thing he's ever made.
it's the biggest thing he's
Like
ever made besides Perfect Blue, and everyone wants to make fan art of Perfect Blue, and honestly, I don't even like Perfect Blue as much as I like Paranoia Agent.
it's actually a toss up. I think I like them both equally, but Paranoia Agent, like, it's because it's a full anime. There's so much in it that I can enjoy. And
There's
like,
there's
yeah,
that,
no.
but also like I feel like I relate to both of them, but I don't like the ending to Perfect Blue.
Do you think it's like a cop out?
Yeah.
I kind of feel that too. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like the ending to Paranoia Agent.
Mm. Cuz it's also kind of a cop out.
Kind of a cop out, but I think Paranoia Agent is kind of fun when it's characterized as like a delusion that is affecting people in the real world. But once it starts getting to like kaiju level, I kind of start like losing it. Like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Like the
Yeah.
metaphor is getting a little bit weird now. I
Mhm.
feel like you could have like I feel like there's a desire to always escalate when you're coming towards a climax, but I'm like, I think we escalated too much, and now I'm kind of losing the depth of this.
Yeah, it gets a little bit like that in Paprika as well. Satoshi Kon loves to escalate to kaiju levels.
Yeah, and like I think if I was gonna say any, and like honestly, that's kind of why I think Perfect Blue kind of sits better with me. Is it's like one of the few Satoshi Kon things that doesn't do that. Like it like escalates, but it escalates in a way where it's like this does not feel like you're like leaving the realm of reality that we were in the whole time.
Yeah, no, I feel like it has a lot more restraint.
Yeah. And like I said, I love Paranoia Agent, but like it's always so hard for me when I have to like finish it because now I have like now I got to watch these like 2 episodes that I just think suck.
Yeah. But I do
Like
go
if
back to it a lot.
I could just watch 90% of Paranoia Agent, that would be the sweet spot.
I actually made I made this thing. And I was trying to make Tsukiko, but I'm not very good at sculpting, so like it basically just looks like Shelley Duvall.
Oh my
But
God. Shelley Duvall in her prime would play such a good Tsukiko though, right?
right? I know.
Like obviously I don't have a time machine, and I don't think even if I did, I'd be able to pitch Paranoia Agent to Shelley Duvall.
No,
But
but if I had to pick someone now, I'd be like, well, maybe Mia Goth.
I might need to see a picture of her. I'm bad with celebrities.
She's the one who plays Elizabeth in the new Frankenstein movie.
Okay. Um, yeah, like Tsukiko is. I love how spacey she is.
Yeah. I love her. She's like my favorite. She's my Borbo. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
She's my Borbo. I love her.
yeah, she's really good. I'm trying to think who my favorite characters are in Paranoia Agent because there's a lot. Like I really like Tsukiko. I really like the detective again until like we get to like the last two episodes.
Mhm.
I'm sorry I keep harping on it, but I'm like legitimately by the time we get to the last two episodes, I'm like, what the hell is he cooking? Like legit, I don't know how to leave off on that series. Like I'm like I just feel weird now,
Yeah.
and not like a good weird. I'm just like, what did I just watch?
Right. It can be like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I liked the all-encompassing kind of delusional bullshit, but that's just me. I like the animation sequences, and that's why I like it really.
I think it's animated really well. I just think plot wise, I'm like, I'm not a fan, and like I could almost forgive it if I'm to like the idea is of Paranoia Agent is that Lil Slugger is like a shared delusion that people who want an escape from their day-to-day lives are manifesting because on some level everyone wishes a guy with a bat could show up and knock them out and they wouldn't have to be like handle their responsibilities anymore.
Yeah. And then the other thing about it is that in Tsukiko like making Little Slugger, she did end up making a new character, which was what started the plot in the beginning.
Yes.
She created a new character that swept the world, basically.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it in that way, but like, yeah, like mimetically, she basically created the new most popular character that rivals Moromi.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
like
what I liked
that.
about that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like, and I can kind of, to an extent, understand like the idea of like it's becoming a manifestation of everyone's shared delusion. I don't know. I guess I just would have preferred if, like, in my head, I would have preferred like if it looked like there was a million little sluggers running around. You know what I mean? Rather than
Yeah,
like a giant black little slugger monster.
right.
Like,
I get that. I
like, and
totally get that.
granted, a million little sluggers probably would have been a pain in the butt to draw.
Yeah,
But
probably would have. Okay, I'm going to save this. Um, and this also. I have to save this. I'm supposed to be recording a podcast today, so I will probably have to leave here in a second, but I hope you enjoyed what little I was able to do. And I will see y'all later. I might do like a second round of the stream later, but I really have to record this thing like today or I won't have any time to do it next weekend. But yeah.
well, alrighty.
All right, it's been fun.
We'll be
Thank
back.
you for joining. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Take care.